And now, Arnab Goswami interviews Martin Sorrell. Now, if that isn't enough of a clincher to get your attention, then I don't know what is. And while it might not be the battle of the titans as many expected it to be, it did make for some seriously compelling viewing. We bring you some of the most interesting snippets exclusively on brand equity. Listen in.
So, Martin, what do you think about TAM?
TAM?
TAM.
Wonderful company. Wonderful company.
It's a large country.
What?
1.2, 1.3 billion people.
Right.
A few thousand people meters. Doesn't add up.
No, well...
Even quantitative research. Qualitative research is... No, let me complete now.
Yeah.
No, let me complete this question. I waited 15 years to ask you this question.
15 years? I think TAM has been operating for 15 years.
It has profits, it has cash reserves. The whole industry is up for expansion. Let me complete. 1.2 billion people, a few thousand people meters, Martin, with the kind of scientific vigor which you bring into research and data, do you really have to wait for expanding? Do you have to wait for government policy guidelines to tell you that you need to have a greater reach across the entire country for the quality of the data that the entire Indian media industry depends on?
No, that's not. That's so, very, very unfair. Very unfair. The number of meters was the base reflects a cost. Okay, and you referred to profitability, and the profitability is not substantial. I mean, it's reasonable but not substantial. And the number of meters reflects the cost of the service, right? If you want to go from 10,000 meters to 12,500 meters or 20,000 meters, whatever it happens to be, it involves a cost, and the industry will have to pay that cost. And in fact, if you look around the world at television audience measurement, and we happen to do it in about 40 countries around the world, you usually find that there is one meter service that the advertisers agree to, the agencies agree to, and the broadcasters agree to. And they agree to that, would you believe, usually on an equal basis. So 1/3 is agencies, 1/3 is advertisers, and 1/3 is broadcasters. If you take into account all the things we've been talking about for the last hour or so, that is changing, the consumption habits are changing. And the nature of the measurement is changing. So having meters in homes will not be, maybe is at the moment, but will not be sufficient to measure those audiences. As far as TAM is concerned, I think, the implication of your question unfairly tars TAM because the market decided that 10,000 meters or 12,500 meters was right. Government then decides that 20,000 meters is right. Fine. If 20,000 meters is right, that's what we'll put in order to provide the appropriate television audience measurement service.
Why would you need the government to tell you need 20,000 people? Why did you do it on your own and then see where the money comes from? Take a risk.
Well, actually, take a risk. To be fair, the decision to increase the number of meters had already been taken, right? It had already been taken. And LV and his colleagues had already taken that decision. Because what we're seeking to do is, in any country in which we operate, and just put India to one side for a minute because it's sub judice effectively, but in any country we operate in, we're there to try and provide the most accurate service.
Sir Martin, tell me, do you think there can be two metrics of measurement? Do you think there can be two companies? Do you think you can have TAM and BARC? Or do you think there can be a third? Do you think there can be an AMAP? In fact, I'm surprised.
The market will decide.
No.
Precedent would tell you, outside India, right? Precedent would tell you there's only room for one. That's what it would tell you.
So you're saying BARC is a non-starter?
No, I didn't say that. I put India to one side.
So TAM and BARC will work together?
I've got no idea. Ask BARC.
What about you think BARC and TAM should work together?
You should have invited the head of BARC to sit alongside, and you could have asked the head of BARC.
But do you think there should be more than one metric of measurement? It's healthy, people compete, they coexist.
No. If the market will pay for two, fine. But I said to you, if you look outside India, I'm not talking about India, the precedence would be that the market doesn't pay for two, it pays for one.
We'll see.